Undeniably, Jesse James has been a big name in the genre of car flipping shows for many years. By appearing in popular productions such as Monster Garage and Motorcycle Mania, James rapidly became a reference in the reality show industry of the 2000s. However, while his business and creativity as a bike builder speak for themselves, the truth is that Jesse's many personal and professional scandals have almost overshadowed his career in more than one way, to the point where his appearances on TV were scarce for almost a decade. So, whatever happened to Jesse James? Did he retire entirely from the entertainment world? Or did he eventually return to TV? Stay with us to find out the whereabouts of the famous and often controversial host of Monster Garage. It's been over 15 years since Monster Garage was cancelled by Discovery in 2006, and we're sure you've all along been missing seeing Jesse James on TV. Although he's appeared in other shows, his many personal and professional scandals eventually resulted in him taking a prolonged hiatus from the entertainment world, leading us to think that there wasn't any hope of seeing him on our TV screens ever again. However, in early 2020, the unexpected happened when TLC announced Jesse and the show were finally returning after 14 years off air. While the reboot was unfortunately delayed for almost a year due to the COVID-19 pandemic restrictions later that year, the show's sixth season ultimately premiered in early 2021 on Discovery+. Even though it's unknown if a season renewal is in the works, to date, Jesse remains busy with his two active businesses, West Coast Choppers and Jesse James Firearms Unlimited, both based in Texas. While other aspects of Jesse's life are unknown in detail, his social media makes it apparent that he's doing well. Nowadays, Jesse James is the owner of two businesses located in Austin, Texas. The oldest is West Coast Choppers, established in 1992, closed in 2010, and reopened in 2013, a revival of his first business with the same name. Though the company specializes in designing and building custom bikes, the truth is that a huge part of its fame is owed to its merchandise brand, which sells everything from clothes to accessories for men, women and children, and beverages. The business's trademark Maltese cross logo was a boom in the early 2000s, gaining West Coast Choppers' popularity as more than a bike shop, but as a brand. Though that same fame remains valid to these days, other categories such as culinary products and items of underwear have been incorporated into the shop in recent years. Jesse James Firearms Unlimited is Jesse's more recently established business. It started in 2013, when James introduced the Colt 1911 pistol and the rifle AR-15 style as his company's leading products. Nowadays, the business sells a wider variety of 1911 models, such as the Cisco NG Master, which are customized and designed to fit a customer's personal tastes, in addition to selling clothing for its more dedicated fans. All in all, the success of Jesse's entrepreneurships seems to be unstoppable. Jesse James might have only two active businesses nowadays, but several years ago, his life was quite different. His original West Coast Chopper shop had its humble beginnings in 1992, when he opened up his first shop location in his mother's garage. The business eventually grew, and he went on to open a bigger and more popular location in Long Beach, where West Coast Choppers produced customized parts and around 15 choppers per year, with an approximate value of $150,000, as Today.com reported. Nonetheless, while the bikes were the shop's main attraction for several years, in the early 2000s, its merchandise brand boomed, thanks to the wide variety of celebrity and sports stars customers who West Coast Choppers had at the time. James also founded the lifestyle magazine Garage, along with the clothing brand Jesse's Girl, though both projects were short-lived. In 2006, his restaurant Cisco Burger opened in Long Beach, only a walk away from West Coast Chopper. However, while the business seemed to be doing well for a long time, in 2010, the business closed as sales apparently went downhill after Jesse faced a huge backlash resulting from his personal scandals. Another Cisco Burger location opened in late 2010 in Austin, Texas, but it eventually closed too. However, public exposure, good or bad, inevitably has an effect. If the adage, any publicity is good publicity, holds true, Jesse James' TV debut was actually in the 1999 documentary, Modern Marvels, followed by the start of his real rise to fame a year later with Discovery's Motorcycle Mania, a documentary film focused on West Coast Choppers, and how his business intertwined with his everyday life. Motorcycle Mania turned out so successfully that it gained Jesse several appearances in productions such as The Screensavers and Steel Dreams, before the premiere of his own series Monster Garage in 2003. The show consisted of challenging teams to design, build, and fabricate the most outrageous monster autos out of common ones, all in 1 week and with a limited budget. Though Jesse's expertise as a metal builder was made evident through Monster Garage, appearing in series such as Monster Nation and Metal Church, allowed his audience a deeper insight into his creativity and talents as a steelworker. While Jesse had his fair share of escapades as a producer of his own shows, such as Jesse James is a Dead Man, he also appeared in the non-bike-related reality competition Celebrity Apprentice, in which he successfully completed 11 tasks before being fired one episode away from the grand finale. Other brief but memorable appearances were in Street Customs and American Chopper. It's not always easy to exactly identify how rich a reality TV star is, as the genre is known for keeping a star's finances in secrecy. Details such as salaries and off-screen sponsorships often remain a mystery. However, Jesse James is notably more than just a reality star. Although his popularity comes mostly from his decades-long career on TV, his celebrity status notably resulted from his involvement with several Hollywood and music stars, his lifestyle, scandals, and nationwide entrepreneurships. Though it's difficult to determine what his salary from Monster Garage is, we can estimate Jesse James' net worth at close to $50 million to date, most of it coming from his successful business West Coast Choppers. As to his sometimes less than private personal life, Jesse James is nowadays single, though it's not that long since he was married. In 2013, he tied the knot with the professional racer Alexis DeJoria, who he met a couple of years prior. Throughout their marriage, Jesse and Alexis teamed up for her drag races, until she took some time away from racing in 2017. However, Jesse wasn't there for her return to the tracks for the Funny Car Championship, as in early 2020, he announced that his marriage with Alexis had come to an end. Our lives were just headed in different directions, creating a distance that was insurmountable, he wrote in an Instagram post. Though Jesse's note hinted that they had divorced on good terms, the Daily Mail later reported that the split was caused by his infidelity. Allegedly, Jesse had repeatedly cheated on his former wife with several women since the start of his relationship, leading to the pair's short-lived separation, eventual reconciliation in early 2019, only for the relationship to definitely end on that year's Christmas Eve, when Jesse reportedly ran Alexis and her daughter Bella out of the family's house. Neither Jesse or Alexis have addressed these rumors, though. Nowadays, Jesse is in a relatively long-term relationship with the adult industry actress Bonnie Rotten. While the media makes Jesse James' marriage with Alexis DeJoria sound distressing, this isn't the first time he has faced controversy regarding his romantic relationships. Jesse's first marriage was to Carla James in 1991, and they welcomed children, Chandler and Jesse Jr. Though not a lot was revealed about Carla, it's known the couple divorced in 2002, and soon afterwards, he married Janine Lindmuller, a dancer, model, and adult industry actress. Their marriage was plagued by accusations of infidelity on his part and physical abuse on hers. As TMZ reported in 2010, their 2004 divorce documents attested their excruciating time together, as she apparently repeatedly punched him, bludgeoned him in the back of the head with a flower pot, and tried to run him over with her car, following an apparent physical altercation on her side in 2003, when she was 7 months pregnant. Jesse filed a restraining order against Janine, putting an end to their relationship less than a year into their marriage. The pair's daughter, Sunny, was born in 2004, the same year the couple's divorce was finalized. In 2008, Janine was jailed for tax evasion, leaving the guardianship of Sunny to Jesse. Although Jesse James' marriage to Janine Lindmuller was scandalous, it doesn't compare to how his marriage to actress Sandra Bullock was closely followed by the media. Sandra and Jesse met in 2004, when she arranged for her grandson to tour Monster Garage Studio. Despite its inconspicuous beginnings, the pair's relationship advanced at a rapid pace, and in July 2005, they tied the knot in a ceremony in California, close to the media. As is obvious, Jesse and Sandra's relationship was always under public scrutiny, despite their efforts to keep it private. Sandra's situation was compounded with the role of stepmother to Jesse's children, welcoming them with open arms. "I have my family, and it's the family that some higher power put in my path. I feel really lucky," she told People in 2007. However, the apparent marriage bliss came to an end in 2010, when multiple allegations of infidelity on his part surfaced. He confirmed the veracity of said accusations through a public statement, in which he apologized to Sandra and their kids, though the backlash he received was so huge that Entertainment Weekly labeled him as the most hated man in America. In March 2010, Jesse entered rehab to allegedly save his marriage, but Bullock filed for divorce a month later. Other than his actual failed marriages, Jesse James also faced a tough legal battle against his ex-wife Janine Lindmuller for the custody of their daughter Sunny. The issue started in December 2008, when Janine was sentenced to 6 months in prison for tax evasion, leaving the custody of their 5-year-old daughter Sunny to her ex-husband Jesse. Following her release from prison, Jesse opposed wholeheartedly Janine's intentions of regaining Sunny's guardianship. Jesse's then-wife Sandra Bullock was involved at some point with the issue, even releasing a statement affirming her commitment to being a good stepmother to the girl, even led her to stop her professional projects due to Janine's arrest. However, Sandra was left out of litigation by James, who stated in court that his only interest was the safety, welfare, and best interests of his daughter. While Janine fought hard to recover Sonny's custody, she ultimately lost the legal battle, only granted weekly visitation rights. While those times were surely tough for everyone, it's a different story for the family nowadays. In January 2022, Sonny celebrated her 18th birthday, as seen on her father's Instagram. She's working to become a tattoo artist. Unbeknownst to many, Jesse James faced serious legal issues in the early years of his career. In 2007, he was accused of violating California's laws on clean air, as his business's customized choppers surpassed the state's hydrocarbon limits, resulting in a fine of $271,250. The following year, Jesse was sued for $422,680 by Michael Jones, a former customer of West Coast Choppers, who commissioned a custom Cadillac by Jesse and paid $270,000 in advance. But after 2 years, the car wasn't finished. Though it's unclear what said case's resolution was, a couple of months later, Jesse was sued again for unpaid fees from his former lawyer. In 2010, Jesse was sued for the third time, now by Fortune Fashions Industries, which accused him of stealing his manpower and work after a failed collaboration between the company and West Coast Choppers. The case was ultimately resolved in Jesse's favor. Nowadays, most of Garage's fans are happy that the show has been rebooted, but many wonder what the show's in for in the near future. While it's still early to assume anything, judging by the positive response the show's received from viewers, it's likely that Monster Garage won't be abandoned for some time. For the time being, we have Jesse's social media to keep us updated with his personal and professional endeavors, and that's enough to keep us entertained, as we hopefully wait for Monster Garage's at least semi-permanent continuation.
Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpick these videos which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.